Everybody, welcome back to Pet Adoption app with Ruby on Rails. This is part 15, and this part here we're going to fix all the mess that we did in part 14b. So what we're going to do, come back to Visual Studio Code. My server is running, and I'm inside. I'm going to go back to Views and click on Users and Dashboard. Now, what we want to do right now is everything we did before in regards to this. Yeah, this is great. I mean, it's really great. I mean, we did a great job, but it's just not going to be functional. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually remove the profile picture for now. And because of that, I'm just going to, go right ahead and totally, I can remove it, but yeah, I think I'm just going to remove it. I'm going to remove the profile picture, and we're going to keep the row with, actually, we don't need the no gutters. And the alignment center, we can keep that. So I'm going to just remove that no gutters. And the call auto, I'm going to keep. And I'm going to also remove this image tag. So instead, inside of this column, I'm going to put a div with a text. I'm going to put a class called text-small. And what else? I'm going to also add a margin bottom. I'm going to make that 0. And I'm going to add a text-primary like that. So inside of this div, I'm going to add an H6. Okay, so I'm going to do an H6 just like this, autocomplete. And inside of that, I'm going to do the current user full name. Okay, so I'm going to do the current user dot full name. And of course, we have to wrap those inside of Ruby, embedded Ruby. Okay, so I'm just going to grab that and just put it in here like that. So that's it, right? And in here, I'm just going to add another class. I'm going to just add some, just to make it look a bit, actually, you know what? No. Let me just remove this. We won't need that because we're going to already have that, this class here. So that's, oops. Just hang on a second now. Let me just remove this H6, sorry. Let me just remove the H6, no need for the H6. Okay, so after this, we have a column again, but this column, I'm gonna make it auto. Okay, so I'm gonna make this column auto, call dash auto. And inside of that column, I'm gonna add a link. Okay, so I'm gonna just totally remove all this too. So instead, let me just remove these two like this, and I'm gonna add a link. I'm gonna add, just literally a link. So I'm going to do an A like this, and inside of there, we are probably, what I can do here is I can do an edit button, but to add an edit button, we can get it either from an SVG, or we can add a, so actually, believe it or not, what I'm trying to do, guys, I'm trying to do a collapse. Basically, I'm going to come back to Bootstrap here. I want you to come back to Bootstrap, click on documentation, and in here type in collapse. Okay, and inside of the collapse, basically this is what I'm trying to do. I'm going to do a trigger. Okay, so instead of that one though, I'm going to use a collapse button, which is one of those. You see, so all I want to do is basically grab one of those. That's all I want to do. Just grab one of those, and off we go. Copy that, come back here, and instead of this empty one, oops, my gosh, just do like that. And of course, here, if you could do, what you can do is click on View, and I think instead of Show Minimap, you can do the toggle word wrap. So you toggle it, so it doesn't so that way it wraps to the next line. Okay, you see what I'm saying? So because instead of having to go scroll left and right on the horizontal. So here we have a BTN primary, but we don't want the BTN primary. So instead, I'm going to do an action item. I'm going to put in here action. This is all from Bootstrap -item, because this is going to actually, so I'm going to put an action item there, and I'm going to do a margin right too, because I want it to have margin right. Like this is going to be right over here, just like right here. It's going to be right here. So I want to have some margin, right? So that's why I'm going to put MR. I'm going to put MR-2. I think it's 20 pixels. Also, I'm gonna put data toggle collapse. It's already there. So this is example collapse, but this is obviously data toggle. It means it's a collapse, guys. Again, this is Bootstrap. That's why over here you see this collapsing. You see this is just collapsing like that, so that we can edit the name. Okay, so in here, basically, we're gonna have like the edit icon, and then you're gonna click it, and it's gonna collapse the name, so you can edit the name. Okay, so that's what I'm doing, right? So we're gonna have an area. All this looks right. Everything here looks correct. Um, uh, Data toggle is collapse. Aerial control collapse example. So instead of collapse example, I'm gonna say collapse collapse full name, and just do it like that, just as I'm doing it. Believe me, you'll you'll be happy with the results. I think it's gonna look a lot better. So here, obviously, it's the first row, right? So the row starts here, it ends down there. So let's just do it like this. And in here, I'm gonna just to make it look nice and clean, and we can never get lost, like little kids in the woods. So in here, I'm gonna type in something like full name is here. Okay, so full name is here. Full name is here. Okay, so this is here and it ends down here. So now over here, I'm gonna do collapse a full name. So I'm gonna do something like that, and in here I'm gonna write collapse collapse full name. Okay, full name like that. And in here I'm gonna do the exact same thing. I'm just gonna grab row align item center like this, copy, and I'm gonna do a div dot row dot row, and then just like that. Okay, and then we're gonna just put it in here, put all those classes from up there, from up here, or you can just copy paste it. Okay, so in this row, I'm gonna do something similar. The only difference, I'm gonna put instead of call auto. Well, actually, in the first one, this one here should be call. Sorry, it just should be a column, right? Just a call. And this one is call auto. So in the bottom one, also, we're gonna do the same thing. So I'm gonna do like that, the div dot call. Hit the enter key, and you can remove some of this white space if it confuses you. So as you can see, this is where my row starts, and that's where my row ends. And inside the call, I'm gonna do a form. This is where we're gonna do the form. So typically you would do a form like that, right? So you would typically do the form, and then over here you do the input like that. And then here you can say whatever, and obviously placeholder equals and all that stuff, right? So you can just come like back to Bootstrap and type in a form, and then you can just copy paste the input. So we all know what this is. So inside this form, guys, I'm gonna, instead of a form, with HTML, we're gonna do the form like as we've always been doing it. So we're gonna just do a text field. Actually, we can probably grab, anyways, let's just do it manually so we don't waste time. So in here, I'm gonna do an f text field. Okay, so I'm gonna do f dot text underscore field, because it's gonna be the name. So the name is a text field. Okay, if it's email, it'll be text. It'll be a text field as well. If it's a message, or if it's about us or something, it would be a text area. So anyway, so it's the f text field. Of course, we have the full name. And after that we have what autocomplete auto. That's not important. We have a placeholder, placeholder, and I'm gonna make that equal to. We don't need quotes because I'm gonna put Ruby here. Current user dot full name, like that. Okay, so current user dot full name. And of course we also have to do. Oh wait, this is the so this is the field, right? Yeah, so we have to add a class that we're gonna put form control, form dash control, and we're gonna say required. Actually, I'll tell you guys that. I'll tell you about that later. We don't need to put required for now. So this is just the input, right? So now we also need the form, right? So to put the form, we're gonna do a form. Although this is gonna get depreciated soon. We can do form for like that. We don't need remote. No, we don't need the remote. But what we do need, guys, oh geez, I mean, I'm gonna remove this true part. So for a form, obviously we have the user, it's for the user, right? Because we're dealing with the user model. So that right away, we're dealing with the user model. The next thing, guys, I want you to remember is the URL. This just you wanna remember this like that all the time. When it comes to the form, there's always a URL. Sometimes it's just a model, or whatever you have in the controller. So here we have the URL, we have the user's edit URL. And the reason why we have a URL again, guys, is because we have, remember if you go to the routes, remember we have a routes users edit URL. And remember we did previously in the previous, in part 14a, we did the controller. So come back to the controllers and please don't skip this part. And just click here on the, don't get bored, the users controller right there. We created a users controller with a dashboard action, which created a native view for us, which we're working on right now. And we also have this update, guys. This update, this is where this URL is coming from. It's the users edit URL, and that's what that's why we're gonna pass this here, this user. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna do the users, because if you do rake routes, if you stop the server now and do rake routes, you're gonna find edit, and that's what it is. It's the users edit URL. Okay, users edit underscore URL. So this is the users edit URL. Oh yeah, we need to pass the user. Okay, the user. What happened there? User variable. So after that, and say there's two things that we're gonna do, because we're inputting, because remember the user has to be able to be here and update this field. They're gonna be like, you know, update, and they're gonna have to click update. And in order to update, guys, we're posting. When we're updating, we are posting. Okay. Well, we're updating information in the database. That's called posting. The method is the post method, but also we're using the update method. So we have to call this method, guys. This is so important to understand this, that we have to call this method, where it's going to take the if user attributes. So it's going to basically update the it's going to use the update method, and it's going to give us, it's also going to run this update method. Okay, so over here, we want to do two things, two very important things. One is action and one is method. Which action it's going to take, because it's going to take it to a URL, which is the user's edit URL. Okay, so that's the action. It's because this update method here is actually, in fact, an action as well. But it's also going to use the update method. So there's two methods. One is the action, the other one is update. So we have action. You have to actually, even when you take breaks, just think about this and practice it over and over until you remember, because these things, eventually everything makes even more sense later on. So you have the action. The action is going to be update. Okay, the action is going to be update, and the method, the method is going to be post, right? Yeah, post. Oh. And the method is going to be post, like that, just like that. And just never forget it. Just always remember it like this. So action, update, method, post. This is the method that's going to be saved in the database. The action is the action that's going to happen in order for it to be saved to the database. Okay, so it's like, you can compare this to everything in life, right? So you know what I mean. So now I want to add some HTML in here. See, I want to add some HTML. Why? I'll tell you why. I need to add some HTML, because this over here, this form right here, this form is actually going to be just like the Bootstrap thing over here. So I'm going to have my name here. Just imagine that my name is going to be here, and here I'm going to have the edit button. And the minute I hit edit to edit my name, it's going to drop down and it's going to have a form. And that's why over here, as you can see in this example, this form here, this anim partial, this lorem ipsum, it's right here. And as you can see, this thing has to have an ID. Okay, so if I was to just for fun, okay, if I was to you know, if I was to take this thing completely and I was to do a copy paste, you'll understand what I'm talking about. You'll totally understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so like I don't need to do a copy paste in our view because you understand what I'm saying. So this is going to be the edit little tiny icon, and when I click on that tiny icon, bang! It's going to trigger the collapse trigger, the collapse target. It's going to hit the collapse target, and it's going to say, "Hey, collapse this." And this is going to collapse. It's Bootstrap jQuery. Okay, so that's what we're going to use. And that's why I have to add this ID. But to add an ID, that's all HTML. So, you know, the ID is right. I'll tell you where the ID is. The ID is going to be in here because that's where the form is going to be. And so I need to add this ID collapse example. And it doesn't have to be, I can call it whatever. I can call it XYZ. We called it collapse full name. Okay, so I have to have an ID here. So after post, I'm going to do a comma and I'm going to do an HTML. And don't forget this. Please remember this stuff. I'm going to do an HTML like that. And in here, I'm going to add the HTML. When I can do whatever gibberish I want. Okay, I can do ID. And in here, I'm going to say it's equal to collapse name. Oh, no, collapse full name. Collapse capital F full name. I'm just camel casing because it's just good practice. Okay, double L. And to be more careful, just copy this here. Actually, collapse full name. Copy this. Hang on a second. Copy that and paste it here. What's actually triggering this? It's right here. It's this href. It's not even this aerial controls. It's not even this area. This aerial controls is just extra HTML. You can call it gibberish if you want, but it's not really catching anything right now. At this point, it's not doing anything. The area expanded false. This is extremely important because it's saying that it's not expanded. Okay, it's saying it's not expanded. Like, you understand what I'm saying? If this was true, and that's what's going to happen, the minute you click it, it's going to make this true. And when it makes that true, it means like, bang, this is going to open. Okay, so, all right, so HTML ID is collapse. And again, if I was to do view toggle row like that, it would look like this. And if you want, if you're happy like this, I can do it like that. Okay, so here we have we added the HTML and we have a do. All right, and yeah, and then the last thing we need to add is the class. We have an ID, and of course we can add the class here. Okay, so comma class is going to be equals to what? What are we going to do? We're going to do the collapse. We're going to do the collapse class. That's very important because if you come back over here, this has a collapse class. So let's just not reinvent the wheel. We've already like reinvented so much. Let's just paste it in here. So it's the collapse class. All right. So in that form, what I want to do is I want to grab my input. Yeah, that's my name. What's going to be the full name, and I'm going to paste it in here. Okay, just like that. And I'm going to take off some white space. And again, let me just find my way. Okay, here I'm going to just remove all this. Oops, remove the white space. So we have a column. Okay, and we have a form underneath. Let's just move this form one more step inside. We have a column here. We have a row. Perfect, and it ends right here. So so this is like row line items. Center, column, we have the form, and the form ends, and then we are going to do an HR like this, which is just a straight line for separation. So that's how awesome our form is going to look like. So in regards to this A link right here, of course, it's perfect. It looks awesome, but we obviously need to change the collapse full. No, we did change the collapse full name. Okay, very good. So over here, guys, I'm going to add an icon. And we can add whichever type of icon that we want. But I think there is, we can just do an eye like that. And inside of here, we can just add the font awesome. So we can do a class equals to class equals is a fa. It's fa edit, fa dash edit, and you can just click font awesome shortcuts, Google it. But I think here I'm going to put a fa because that's the new one. Okay, fa edit text gray. Let's add a text gray, text dash gray, and also we want to do. Oh, right, the one that comes with the theme is text gray 300 and text gray 500. So I'm going to do text gray, and then we're probably going to have to add more classes, but we'll see about that. Now, over here, I might add a span, okay? Let's just do it like this. Let's just do it like that. And this, oh my gosh, action item, margin right to, oh boy. All right, let's just do save it. Now I'm gonna remove all the crap that all the crap that we added before. I'm gonna remove this script. Please don't get mad, just for my sake. Please, this is part of web development, but at least you know how to do that now. And I hope you push that to Bitbucket before you do this, because that way you know where to go to change to make such an implementation. Now, in regards to this card here, guys, this here is all about the dashboard. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna recollapse it. So I just want to make sure that we don't have anything crazy here. This is the full name. It ends here. This is the collapse for the table. It ends here. Here's the HR. And what the heck is that div? That div closes this. Okay, very good. And this is the card body. It closes that. And this is the card. Very good, guys. Let's do Command S to save it. Come back over here and refresh. Let's see how it looks. Ooh, phone for user URL, use edit. It says, oh, I know why. I know why. So here is why. When you come back to routes, routes. If you go to config and then you go to routes. Okay, right over here. Obviously, you know, this is bad. This is really, really wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong, and obviously needs to be fixed. So what we really need to do is put in users. So here you're supposed to put users. It's users edit to get this users edit post on the users. Well, because we're posting because it's an update method. Where you edit is an update method in the users controller, right? So edit is an action, is to update. So that's why it's posting. It's not getting, it's posting. And it's going to be users update action. Okay. So if we actually save that and then come over here, we have to refresh, Control C. Jeez. Oh man, come on. Control C and do a Rails S and hit the enter key. It's gonna refresh because we touch whenever you touch the routers, man. Just, you know, ladies and gentlemen, please refresh. I mean, stop and start the server. Okay, so come back over here and refresh like that. Okay, see how that looks? That looks a lot cleaner, a lot nicer. Look, it looks so much cleaner, so much nicer. Okay, so much well, I don't know about so much cleaner and so much nicer. I personally think that we need to put some margins, and that margin don't look too good to me. And I think what we can do is we can put probably a margin top 3, so it's not that close. So that way it's not so close. It's so close. Okay, let's do a margin top 3. Margin top 3. Form users. Where do I add the margin top? Why am I getting a brain fart right now? Why would I do that? Why did I add this? Oh no, this is different. See what happens when you don't put spacing? You get all confused. So easy to get confused, you know? All right, so class MT3. MT3? MT-3. Save it, come back over here. All right, that looks so much better, guys. That looks so much better. I'm really happy with the results right now. And so you know what I'm gonna do? And wait a minute. So also, on top of that, we also need to add some buttons, because right now this doesn't look too good. So let's grab some buttons, okay? Bootstrap buttons. So let's do that. So what are we gonna do? What's a button with embedded Ruby? So we do this. Well, let's just do a regular button first, okay? So regular button, or we can do yeah, let's put a regular button. Okay, so come back over here. Bootstrap, BTN, buttons. And where is the small? Command F, SM, small buttons. Aha. So that's large, and this is a small button, text primary. Okay, copy. Come over here and paste it right in. Here we go. See, it's that easy. So we're gonna put 2 buttons side by side. The first one is gonna be text primary, and the second one is gonna be text danger. Like that. And yeah, and also, well, I mean, I think we should put. Do you think we should put margin top? Put a margin top? Yeah, let's put a margin top. CMT3. Let's see what this makes. CMT-3, and put an MT-MT-3 here also. Do Command S. Let's call this cancel. Hang on. Let's call this is danger one. Yeah, cancel, because it's going to be red. And here it's going to be save. Save that, baby. Okay, come back here. Pet adoption, refresh. And look, boom, 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 everything. But you know what? I don't like the fact that save is so. I don't like that the fact save is so much smaller than cancel. So let's just make that save changes. Save, make it look like a nice, much bigger button. Refresh. Save changes. See, and so now let's just test this, right? If you click save changes, if we do cancel, nothing happens. So the reason why nothing happens is because it's not triggering the collapse, the data target. It's not triggering. It's not triggering the data target. We need to trigger the data target. Okay, so in order for it to work, because if you come back here to Bootstrap, you're gonna notice that if we click just back like that, you're gonna notice that look. So this triggers an open look. So this triggers what? Collapse. It triggers a collapse, and if you click it again, it triggers the opposite of collapse. You trigger it. Okay, so that means this button with data target that says here button, it has a data toggle called collapse, data target collapse. So we need to copy this area, and area expanded is going to be false, right? Right. So area control, area controls is not important. Let's just copy that. Okay, come back over here, and we need to put this in here. Okay, we need to put this in here. Oh boy, so much stuff. Data toggle. Do we need all that stuff? Data target. We don't need all that stuff. I mean, we do, and we do. I know we need a data toggle. Probably need a data target. Area expands, false. Data controls. All right. I'll leave it, I guess. But we don't need this. Let's just remove. Hang on a second. Oh, no, not you. I want to refresh this. So if you click on cancel, oh yeah. No, we need it all. Then wait a minute, this was not even. Oh my gosh, hang on. Let's just do the same thing. Forget the save changes, okay? Save changes is gonna have none of this crap, okay? Save changes is gonna be save changes. Let's put it this. It's gonna be on cancel, okay? It's gonna be right in the cancel thing. Okay, so if we save that and come over here and refresh and we do that and hit cancel, you gotta be kidding me. You have to be kidding me. How is that possible? This should work. Bang. Oh, of course it doesn't work. Gosh, I forgot. Why am I so forgetful these days? It's collapse full name, copy. Okay, and data toggle, collapse, data target, collapse full name. That's it. And we don't need this area expanded false. We don't need that stuff. I don't think we do. Okay. So, data toggle, data target, save it, come back over here, refresh the page, come here, cancel. Look, it works perfectly, like that. You want to edit? Now, let's just add an edit name over here, okay? Let's just add an edit name. This is so important. It has to look a little nicer, because, like, what if someone misses this? They're going to be like, oh, what's that? Okay? Or does it look good like that? Does it look good? Do you guys think it looks good? I mean, you can, like, we can come back here on the name, you know, where we're here, where it is like right in front of the icon. Okay, we can just do enter like that and do edit and do a span. Wait, span, and then inside we can say edit and do a save. If we do a save, come back here, refresh. Look, it's gonna look bad. So let's just put a class. I think the class is type bootstrap typography, and what you want to do is unstyled, command F, unstyled, list unstyled. So list unstyled or inline description. unstyled, no style. I think there's a class. I don't know the name of the class, but it's an unstyled class, and I believe I forget. I think it's something like, boy, I don't know. All right. No. But wait, the class actually has to go on the link. The class has to go on the link, guys. I don't think the class goes inside the, because if you look over here, the reason why this has a thing is because we need to add the class in the link, not on the span, because spans, they don't have an underline. The only thing that has underline is the links, right? So we need to add this class. So I think text manf text dash decor. Oh, right. So here we go. So here, text decoration none. Okay, copy that. Come back here and let's put this here. Okay, text decoration none. This is gonna be, I'm gonna do class equals to text gray, text dash gray. We said 500 dash 500. That's just part of the theme, and we also need a margin right, of course, mr dash 2, because if we don't, it's gonna look just like that, so close. It's gonna be so close, and we don't want that. So let's do that. Save, refresh, and of course, look. I mean, that doesn't look too good. We need to style it. So let's do inspect element, and then over here, let's just click on this here, and let us do position relative top 1 pixel 1, or maybe position relative top 1 pixel, maybe. I don't know if that's yeah. Position relative top. Ugh. I just want to click away from it, but it's position relative. Jeez, what happened to it? Position relative top 1 pixel. What else? We can do a left position relative, but this is, why are we? Nah, I selected something different. Hang on a second. This doesn't look right. Hang on. So do it like this. Remove everything. Let me just click on the icon here. Okay. So position relative top 1. Oh, -1. And then right. No, I'm gonna say left. Maybe 3 pixels to be a little bit further away from the left. Okay, so copy that. I'm gonna give it a class name. Jeez. Please get me going. I want to get this done. Copy. Come back over here. I'm gonna give it a class. I'm gonna give a class here. I'm gonna call this edit icon. Edit dash icon. So I know it's me. Save it. Come back to assets, style sheets, and let's click on application.scss. Where I'm gonna type in typography, and Command Z dot edit dash icon. Okay, open close curly brace and paste it all in there. Dumping it in there. Save it, and let's come back to dashboard. Make sure you save it. Come back to Google Chrome. Close this. Refresh. Okay, just gonna get some coffee. That doesn't look too bad at all. I mean, it doesn't look too bad at all. I mean, so let's click on that. So now let's make sure this works. So obviously the submit, we have to. I just did this in HTML so you guys understand. So we're gonna have to obviously create a submit button, just like the previous buttons. We've been doing them. You may or may not remember, but just want to let you know, not everybody, I mean, of course we remember it. When you do it over, when you do projects over and over, you remember things, but I just want you to know it's very human not to remember. Very human. It happens to me all the time. Sometimes I have to like look at very simple things just because the brain can only take so much in memory. So we're going to do an f.submit. So first we do the good old regular embedded Ruby. So we're going to do an f.submit. And in that submit, we're going to do nothing. We're just going to, oh no, we're going to do a lot. So we're going to put something like save changes, right? Save changes. So I did it in HTML first so you guys see what I'm doing. So over here, we're also going to add the class. And I'm going to just totally grab all this, copy that, and just put it in here, just like that. So once the submit button always has to be inside the form, the ending of the form. So I'm gonna remove the top one like that. We can put type button, whatever. But I'm gonna leave it like that. Yeah, sure. Let's put type button. Why not? Type. Should we? All right, doesn't matter. Type button. Okay. So we're gonna do the same thing for the cancel button. Copy that. No, the cancel button is gonna remain the same. Okay. So save it. Come back here and let's refresh and let's see if we can change. Ooh. Oh. Let's just remove this here. Let's just remove that completely. And there's no comma here. Don't need the type button, but anyway, we can add it here. Type, let's see. Button, I didn't do anything. I actually added a comma there where I shouldn't have. I don't know. That was a big mistake. Command save. Come back to Chrome. Refresh. Okay, there you go. So you click on edit. Let's see if we can change our name. Okay, I'm gonna call myself Carlos. Carlos Santana. And save changes. Save changes. Nothing happened. So how come nothing happened? Why nothing happened? We have a form for user URL, edit user, we pass the user. Here we have, after that, we have an action with an update, a method with a post, an HTML. Everything seems right. Do form, do F. And we have a text field. Okay, and then we have a save changes button. Oh, let's just remove this because I don't usually put them. So you know what? You never know. So let's come back here, and of course, I need to look at the Rails console and check this out. But Carlos, let's just change it to Carlos. Saved successfully. See, but then it shows again Maria Santana. This should be refreshing. It should refresh completely. So I'm not sure why this is not refreshing, because if I click on edit again, it's not actually saving in the database. It's not saving in the database. And you know why? Of course it's not saving in the database. Guess why? It's not saving in the database because if we go to users, if we go to controllers, and we click on controllers and we click on users controller, it says, look, before action authenticate user. Perfect, I pass. I'm authenticated. And then it says, these are strong parameters. It says you can only permit about language, status, and organization. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to do full name. I'm going to add full name because we deserve to be able to change our names, guys. Save it, and save it. So full name, about language, status, organization. Control-C to stop the server. Please stop. Control-C to stop the server. Rails S to start it again. And now we should be booming. Should be booming completely. If you come here to Google Chrome and refresh this, it's not gonna work. But if you keep refreshing it, it should work. Sorry, I got too excited. Been drinking coffee all day. Edit. I'm gonna put Carlos. Carlos Santana. and click Save Changes, look, everything magically changes. Magically, just like this. So I'm very happy that this has happened, but let's just, one more thing, let's check one more thing. When you click edit like this is just sort of like testing, and people try to mess with your app all the time. People do it all the time. And what if I go like that and I click away and I click Save Changes anyway? Oops, something went wrong. Did not update. Why? Because something did go wrong. Because look, it can't be empty. Because the minute you do this, even though this is a placeholder, guys, like look, if I do H and I go backspace and I click Save Changes, it can't be, it's empty. Because in sanitizer, in device initializer sanitizer, in sanitizer, we actually said that this cannot be empty. We already initializer. We actually said that this cannot be empty. No, not here. What am I doing? Controllers, we have the application controller. We said that it's Rails has amazing validation. We can work more on that. I don't want to continue too much on this, but it says, look, you really need like it cannot be empty. Okay, it can't be empty. So we have to have yeah, okay. The full name cannot be empty. Anyways, so let me close this here now. If I'm gonna talk, I'm never gonna stop now. So let's just move on. Okay, so since we have the full name, this is great. We have a system here. Do you guys realize we have a system? Everything until HR is a system. Right from here, right from the row, okay? Right from the row, we're gonna copy paste this over and over until we do all of them, until the HR. Copy that, okay? And I'm gonna do some spaces. I'm gonna paste it. Make sure now that you do the right one. This, instead of full name, this is gonna be organization. Organization, just like that. Organization is here. Collapse organization. Let's do one step at a time. And over here, let's grab this. Let's just minimize this. Let's grab the decoration collapse full name. Let's do this collapse organization and collapse organization. And paste it in there. In the area controls. So let's come over here instead of user organization. And everything is the same. Instead of collapse full name, collapse organization, and instead, what am I doing here? This is user. Sorry about that. I'm so sorry. This one, I meant to say this is organization. Sorry about that. Current user full name, that's the placeholder. And what else? Submit, save changes. And you could just say, edit your name. Like, edit your name. You can, instead of for a placeholder, and it won't save in the database as edit your name. Trust me, it won't. So what else? And here, of course, we need to paste the collapse organization. And then cancel button, everything seems right. And if we Command S this, come back over here and refresh, you're gonna notice that we're gonna have something is wrong. Text field over here is current user organization. That's it. Okay, and I'm gonna do a view, and I'm gonna do a toggle word wrap, just so that you can go over it, in case you want to have a look. So I start over here. This is the beginning of organization. Okay, I make sure I replace all the collapse full name with collapse organization right here and right there. I come down here, the edit stays the same, everything stays the same, and then of course I replace this collapse full name with collapse organization. I change the text field to organization. That's it. Okay, so save the changes, and of course I make sure there's another HR here, right? Okay, save the changes, come back here and refresh, and you should see Maria Pet and Rescue, because I did add Maria Pet and Rescue. So if I click edit and I want to change Maria, I'm going to call it Carlos Santana, or Carlos Carlos's pet and rescue, like that, and you click save changes, that's actually going to change to Carlos's pet and rescue. And guys, I want to do something else. Please, 1 second, do a command and type in Postico. And please, I really hope you did follow my tutorial the first time and you did go with Postico, because I have to say, I love pgadmin a lot. Click on connect. I love pgadmin a lot. But let me tell you, pgadmin, it's got its issues, and you have to kind of like be, if you're a beginner, I highly suggest you work with pgadmin and get comfortable. But when you click on Postico, download it. It's free, I think, for 1 or 2 projects. I can't remember. But if you click on like your username here, or here like that, you should be able to see all the databases. So now here I'm looking at pet adoption development, like that. Look, and if you click on users, look, it's awesome, guys. I think you can also play around with the colors and everything. I'm not sure, but look, email column, encrypted password column, the created at, updated at, full name, organization column, and look, Carlos's pet and rescue. It's amazing. You know, it's really amazing, and you can make it a little better, smaller. You can like click on this like this, and you can view so many things, guys. You can view a lot of things. It's a great GUI. Okay, that's all I have to say. It's a great GUI, and please don't be discouraged using Postico. But I just love pgadmin, and you're more than welcome to use Postico. It's amazing. You can just click around and have a look. So that's all I wanted to say. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. Just yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna come back here now, and I'm going to go one step at a time. So after the full name, we did the organization. After organization, now we're gonna do what? We have other things like status. So we have the status. So now organization is here. Copy this all the way to the end, and remember the end is the HR. So grab the end all the way to the end to the HR. Copy that. Enter, 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 paste it again. So instead of collapse organization, it's collapse status. Collapse status. Okay, so status here, status is here, and instead of let's go collapse organization, instead of, we're going to replace it twice here on collapse status, and then copy and then paste it here. And let's go here, collapse organization, paste it here, paste it here. And over here is, instead of, okay, so this is current user dot, no, we need to put some logic to make it look good, because if we actually did current user status, watch what's gonna happen. Status, watch what's gonna happen. Status is either false or true. So what do you think is gonna happen now? Now it's gonna be like false. Oh, geez, that looks pretty bad. So current user status, man, this looks pretty bad. Right? So current user status is going to be false. You're going to see it. So let's just let me just do this. First of all, there's going to be no text field. Okay, there's going to be no text field. So we're going to have to replace this text field with something else. It's going to have to be a select. Okay, and there is actually a Ruby on Rails helper. It's called options for select. Okay, and there's a lot of ways we can do this. I would really wish I could have had more time to make this option for select look a little prettier, because obviously it's going to be very basic. But for selecting something, okay, select, you know, you can just come here to Bootstrap and type in select. Okay, we're going to have to select. We're going to have to select from a drop-down menu. We are going to have to say form. Let's just go forms. And select. This is a select, okay? That's a select. So obviously, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna grab this. That's what we would normally do. So in Rails, this goes by options for select. So you can add an array of arrays. You can add an array of arrays, you know, so it's like this value, you know, give me, like, show the user number 1, you know, for, you know, the key. It's a key value pair, obviously, but that's how an array works, right? An array. So it's not necessarily a key value pair like a hash or anything, but it's an array of arrays. So you can say, okay, so, you know, for bed and breakfast, put BD, because in the database it's bed and breakfast, okay? But you want to show to the user BB, okay? So in the database is, you know, exotic hotels, but you want to show for the user luxury resorts. So you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to show you now in a second. So this is called an f dot select in Rails, okay? And you can use the helper options underscore for underscore select. You can Google it and get more information. So here I'm going to do f dot, instead of text field, is going to be select, okay? Select, just like that. And after that, we are going to pass inside the option for select. We're going to do the status, okay? Because we need to also add that helper, which is the options underscore for underscore select. Oh. Jeez. Options underscore for underscore. Oh. Oh, excuse me. Options for select. Oh, it feels so good to sneeze so hard. Okay, so then get oh, bye. I gotcha. So inside this helper, remember a helper is like a method inside a module. Okay, so you see that this here inside this options for select. Let me just remove that space because I don't want to get confused. We're gonna add an array of arrays. So you can do the one array, and then you're gonna do another array. So two arrays back to back. So this is the first, and inside we're gonna do inside those two another one, and then put a comma, and then another one. So we're gonna be two. Why? Because I'll tell you why. So over here we're gonna add, what we're gonna say, oh boy, what is it? I guess the first one would be online, and then it's false. No, online. Hold on. Online is gonna be false. Online is gonna be false, right? Okay, so online. No. What am I saying? Online is true. Online true. And here, offline is gonna be false. So online true, offline false. Okay, try saying that 10 times. Okay, so this ends here, as you can see. Okay, you see that? Just have a good look at it. Okay, and your fingers are gonna be so used to this over the years. Don't worry, everything is gonna be so easy. Remember when you're learning like table of multiplications when you were like 6 years old or 7 years old? You're like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. This is a joke. So I want to tell you, everything is going to be so much easier as you keep going. Never give up, guys. So that's why I hope I'm inspiring you guys with some, and actually with some of my work. I hope I'm inspiring you because I'm learning with you guys. I'm learning every day. That's why I'm making these tutorials too, is also to improve for me. So now after that, of course, we have to pass. We're gonna keep it. We're here. Okay, so we have passed that, and then we want to do an empty. I believe it's always, actually you always do this when it comes to selections. Okay, so you pass it because it's actually empty in fact for the HTML, right? But you could add other things there. I just can't recall. All right, so we just leave it empty. Just leave it empty as it is. And what we're gonna do in here is we're gonna add HTML. Okay, so we're gonna do a class, and we're gonna add form control because form control should be present with all forms for Bootstrap, for the Bootstrap class. And yeah, so if we do a save now, and this submit, everything is the same thing. Collapse status, everything seems right. And of course here, it's gonna show false. So when you come back here to pet adoption and do a refresh, you're gonna see false. And when you click here, you're gonna see online or offline, right? And if we click, it doesn't matter what we click. I can click, I'm not gonna click anything now, but it'll show if I click offline, offline is false, online is true. It's still like all it's gonna show is true. So I'm gonna, now that I clicked online, hang on, I clicked online, I click save changes, is going to show true, and that's not meaningful at all. So that's why we need to do an if-else statement. Say, hey, if it's true, show online. If it's false, show offline. So we're going to do an if-else statement, right? So if-else, where's that autocomplete? It's so nice to have it. If-else, if current user status, copy that. So if current user dot status, right? So if the current user dot status, which means if it's false. Why? Because of course it's false. And no, actually no. If current user dot status is true, that's always true. If the current user dot status, that equates to true. Okay, show online. And remember, now we have true. Okay. So come back here, show online. Okay, and then hit enter. Else show offline. Take off that white space. So if current user dot status, if that's true, show on, because when you're saying current user dot status, it means true. It's like if human. Is he human? Yeah, he's human. If hurricane, is it a hurricane? Yes, hurricane. If this is true, it's gonna be online. If this is true, if current user status exists, not exists. If it's there, meaning like if it's true, it's not, because if something is false, it means it's just false, right? So this not, it means false. So if it's online, show is true. You'll understand what I mean. But I think I didn't explain it very well. Well, let's see if this works. Do a command S to save it. Come back here, refresh, and it should show online. Okay, why? Because now if I do this, if I do offline and I save it, now if we come back to Posticle and we refresh this here, you're gonna notice that the status, where is the status? The status for, jeez, please work. The status for, what's his name? Carlos Santana here. The status for Carlos Santana is gonna be false because Carlos Santana is offline. Now, if Carlos Santana goes online, now this again, this is like, you click on save changes, you're gonna see, why is that happening? You click on off, yeah, oh no, we did click on online, sorry, cancel. It's online, we come back to Posticle and we refresh, you're gonna see now it's gonna be true. Carlos Santana is gonna be true. Carlos Santana is true. So so we did that. Okay, so if current user status. Now if we said if not, we would have done something like that. Oh geez, what did I do? If we said the exclamation mark is not, if the current user status means true because it exists in the database, right? As true. That's why it exists in the database. But if it's false, it still exists in the database, but it equates to false. So if current user status is not, the opposite of current user status is false. But you guys should practice more on your Ruby, and I should practice on my Ruby as well. And I'm going to do a save now. Let's just do something new. Not something new, but we have the user status. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to copy this organization again. Okay, from the top of organization that says organization is here to the bottom of the HR. Copy that. Come back here where the status, blah, 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 all the way to the end of the HR. Enter, enter, enter. And just paste it in there. And now what we're going to do is work on the language. Because we have a language. So I'm going to call this language. Oh boy, I don't even know what language is, but language is important. So current user dot language, okay? And then inside the current user dot language, we have edit, blah, 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 collapse organization. Let's call this language, collapse language. Copy, paste it here, okay? And come back here, paste it there, and paste it there. Oh gosh. And then here, instead of organization, it's gonna be language. Placeholder, edit your language. Your language. All here is the same thing, and that's it. And then just save it, and that's it. That's all it is. And I think over here, in regards to, this is nothing. Okay, save it, come back over here and refresh it. And now it should be Spanish. Okay, now if I want to click edit and I want to type in, something like Greek, and save the changes, boom, now it's saved. Okay, and I refresh, you could see it's saved. So another thing I want to say is I think we need to put like we can put in small letters. Guys, like of course we can add a div with extremely small letters. Oh my, like we can add another div on top of a div on top of a div, but like I can't remember that div. What's that div name? Like this here, like right there. What's this here? Text extra small text. Okay, edit as HTML. Okay, copy that. Come back here, and of course we can add this. And I'm kind of tired of just putting a bunch of crap all the time, and just I want to work on design too. Too much HTML and no design, that's just bad. So here's gonna be language. Language, text font weight bold, text primary. Of course, it's gonna look better. Look, oh jeez, come back here, refresh, and it's gonna look a lot better, right? But we have to change the color. The color needs to be text gray 600. Text gray dash 600, maybe a little darker than the 500. And then we refresh language Greek. Okay. And let's just do the same thing. Okay, so let's just grab it like that, copy that, and we set on top of the on top of on top of the status. Okay, on top of the status. Okay, right under the column of the status, paste it there, and we're gonna call this status. Status. Okay, and then come back. Go up on the organization, on top of the organization, and paste it in and call it organization. Then come back, of course, on top of the full name and paste it right here. Hit the tab key, full name, full, whatever. I think everything here looks. So what else do we have in the database that we haven't filled? So we have language, organization, full name, updated at. We can actually say joined, date joined. We can say date joined. Language Greek, and we can say, we can say organization is here, collapse organization. And we can add date joined. We don't need to collapse anything. So we're just gonna grab that as it is. Copy that. After the HR, we can say date join, and here current user dot. I think we can say what's the name of that posticle? That's date created at. Okay, so dot created. What am I doing? What am I doing? Dot created underscore at. I think dot is dot strf 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 dot time, and then we have to actually say I think it's geez, not like that. Oh, autocomplete. I think geez, what, wow, unbelievable. What's up with the autocomplete? I think it's a B B and Y. No, Y and B. B. Ruby. There we go. Date time. Mm. So I think it's so this shows date, month, and year. Okay. So it's date, month, and year. Okay. So dot strp time. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Uh, so yeah, it's inside codes. See, I forget all these things. So I think there's no there time like that. Right? strf time. Then I just like they did there. There's two codes, and it's a B and Y. So it's like that. I'm gonna put a B and side by side and a Y, capital Y, and like that. Save that and come back here. Oh boy. Oh, okay, I understand that, but why is it under organization? Oh, I know why. Because why did I copy and paste it there? Command X. Thankfully, I named them properly so I can remember. Because it's so easy to get lost in all this. Status, language is here. How did I forget all this? Jeez. After HR, paste it in, save it, come back over here, refresh, and then instead of organization, it's going to say joint date. Joined date. Save it, come back here. Yeah, that's it. And we don't need to edit this here. There's nothing to collapse, of course, because it has the same name. So there's nothing to collapse. There's nothing to edit. I'm going to just remove this completely. Bang. Save it. Refresh it. That's it. That's all there is. Okay. So, guys, is there anything else that we have the full name created at? We created. We know joint date, language, about. About. My goodness, about. Let's just put this between joint date and let's just grab this. Let's grab this organization. Why is this organization? This should be language. Collapse. Collapse language. This is bad. Collapse language. Language is here. Collapse status. Status is here. Collapse organization. Organization is here. So let's grab this language. Let's make a copy of that with the HR. Copy it, and just above, like where it is right there. I mean below. Hit enter, enter, and above the date, paste it in. And instead of language, we're gonna put. We said we're gonna put the about. We're gonna say collapse um, about me, and then start about me is here. So over here, I'm gonna put about me. So in the about me, I think we need to be careful. With the about me, is slightly a little bit slightly different because it has a text area, right? So I want you to not forget that when it comes to text area is a little different than text field. So let's just change this here first, so we don't forget text area. And here we have to put rows, right? So we're gonna put rows. I'm gonna say 3 rows, and also in this. This is also the same, but we need to change this language to collapse about. About. See, guys, I'm struggling too so much. It's just, but hey. So and replace that also, and come over here, and then replace this one. And again, this is text area, and then this is about, because we have an about as well. We have your language, about yourself, about yourself, summary about yourself, about yourself, and learn how to spell. And of course, this everything here is the same, but I think we might have a problem here. Command S to save. If we come here, we refresh this. Of course, this needs to. Why did it say Greek there? Oh, here, because summary dot on the about. That's gonna be a little bit problematic because we actually have to add the. We need to. Excuse me. So we have that. So this shouldn't even be here. About, right? We shouldn't even have that there at all. Like, what's the point of having that there? Just leave it like this, about me. And of course, with the icon and everything on the right. And if they click it, hey, they'll be able to see about them, right? But we definitely need to show the about me somewhere where it's not collapsed, right? So this also means, guys, that this whole thing needs to be closed, which it is actually. But we need to add another row. So div dot row, and then we also need to add that class line item set. I don't know why I'm adding that class, but whatever. And inside this, right in here, we actually have to add a column with text. So div dot call, right? And inside of there, we're gonna do a p tag. It's paragraph, right? It's a paragraph, and inside is put a class. Why do I make so many mistakes? With the class equals to, we are gonna do text. This is also Bootstrap text dash small, because it needs to be small. Text small, margin bottom dash 0. Okay, so come back in this class, and here we are gonna do the right here we're gonna do this current user dot current user dot about, like that. So that way it's gonna look prettier. You know what I mean? But we need a margin top also. But let's see if that works. Yeah, of course it needs a margin top. MT-2. Otherwise it's gonna be like stuck up in that little text there and near the icon and everything. Save it, refresh it. Aha, perfect. So that's there. You can see the about me, and you click edit, and then hey, you can change it. And if we click save changes, and it's actually going to save. And the problem with that is that now it's empty. The about me is empty because look, you have nothing, and you just save nothingness, and it's like, oh, okay, great. So we have to work on validation next, but I don't want to do it next because it's going to be so boring. But I think it's important that we learn how to do validation. That's so important. I want to do it later. This is going to do later. It's going to be, we're going to call them not issues. We're going to call them features. Okay. Now I want to do one last thing, guys. Please, this is so important. Now, in regards to this, let me just add some edits here. Some blah blah blah. Jeez, what did I do? Let me add some hello there. Okay. Command copy, and I'm just gonna save that. Now, I want to say one more thing. It really annoys me that over the years, a lot of times, myself or other friends or friends of friends, we always tend to forget about the design. Now, this design is terrible. It's extremely boring. Yeah, sure, the UI is great, but why are you just always paying attention to UI? So I want you to just, be a little bit more free spirited. Just be free to do what you want to do, something crazy, something mad. So there's something called svgbackgrounds.com. It's really interesting. Do type in svgbackgrounds.com. And svgbackgrounds.com, it's one of those sites that, I just kind of sort of discovered recently. Of course, I usually use Sketch, and I add SVG icons, and I play and I make beautiful backgrounds. But this is kind of interesting, and there is a lot of different backgrounds you can add. But for me, because I'm making a pet adoption app, I might have to use, I made it earlier, and I just wanted to show you. It's really cute. You can use different backgrounds. I think there's one with Dalmatians that I had created earlier. I think it must have been /Dalmatians. No, it's actually the Dalmatian. How come it's not auto completion? Dalmatian spots like this. Oh, Dalmatian spot. Did I spell that wrong? I don't know why it's not working, but actually, she should have a pound. Oops. Okay, it should have like that. Dalmatian spots, and it doesn't. Where's the Dalmatian spots? Oh man, that's terrible. Okay, so just click here on this one, and you can just come down here. Okay, and then click. Anyways, let's just come back here. There's different colors you can add. Okay, I found it. It's right here. You just click on this one here, and you can copy this from my. So here it is. So in regards to the black, we don't want the black. So I'm gonna add a nice little purplish color like this, and I'm gonna just drop it like that. Maybe maybe like towards maybe the blue. Why is it doing this? Like maybe something towards the pinkish there. Okay, and here I'm gonna maybe grab something like blue, like that. Okay, that looks a lot. I think it looks a lot prettier. It looks a lot cuter. And even if we drop it a little bit more, it looks so much cuter, so much better. Okay, so I'm gonna grab that, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play maybe the scale. I'm gonna leave the same. The opacity I'll leave the same. But you can play around with all this, right? So copy all that. Copy. So just click here, Command A, copy it all, and then come back to Visual Studio Code. Now we can add this inside the styles application styles, but that's way too much, guys. Like, let's just import a new style sheet. I'm gonna import a new style sheet. Okay, this is simple and easy. After all, I'm gonna type in @. @import. Actually, this gets imported because no, we have to import it. @import. I'm gonna name it backgrounds. Okay, so bg dot scss. No, just bg. Let's just call it bg. Okay. Don't forget to do that, and then Command S to save it. I'm gonna open my folders here. So in style sheets, I'm gonna create a new file. I'm gonna create a new file like this, and I'm gonna call it bg.scss. Okay, bg.scss. Hit enter. Now over here, I want you to come back to Chrome first. Come back to Pet Adoption, and just content. Like if we inspect the element here, and we need to target the wrapper, not the wrapper, but the content wrapper. No, the content itself. Sorry, the content itself. Come instead of background color FFF. Okay, just paste that in there. look how cute it looks. Look how prettier. It looks so much prettier, so much nicer. It looks so much better. It actually, it makes you feel like you want to be in this site. So let's come back here now to Visual Studio Code, and come back to, first of all, before you. Well, we can do content. What's the name of that? Let's come back to application.html.scss. So let's come back to close controllers, come to views, and click on layouts, application.html.erb. And let's remove the style under the content here. This style, let's remove that completely. This is inline CSS that I added before inside the application.html.erb. Now, this ID content can be targeted in CSS, just like the classes can, okay? So inside bg.scss, the file that we just created, okay, inside the style sheets folder, right? I'm gonna type in content, the ID content, because there is such an ID. It's right here in application.html.erb, this one, this ID. You can target IDs in CSS or SCSS, okay? It's the same like classes. So open, close the brackets, and paste it in, Command B. Paste in everything that we copied from that background website, which is right here. We just copy this like that. Command A, Command C to copy, come here, and then just paste it in here. Okay, and that's how it looks like. Look, such a mess, right? So Command S to save it, and come back. And of course, when we come back and we reload this, we just Command refresh, and you're gonna see it there. It's gonna load that background. So we also want to do the same thing. So over here, maybe duplicate the tab. Okay, so I'm just adding a duplication of the tab. And what we want to do is basically find a background for the header. Okay, find a background for the header. So we can grab this here, or we can maybe grab one of those, or perhaps one of those looks kind of cute. Wow, so many colors. Oh boy. So here I'm just gonna grab a couple of light ones, a couple of light ones, couple of light ones, couple of light ones. Okay, a couple of light ones like that. But this looks bad. Okay, I don't have the patience to do this right now, but we can get this one right. This looks great. There's two colors. It's easier to manage, right? So let's get this one as first color, and then this one as a second color. Perhaps something like that. Maybe towards the purple a little bit. Maybe towards there, something like this. Maybe add some opacity to it, or something like that, huh? Like that, yeah. So maybe make this a little bit lighter. No, somewhere around there. Oh, this looks. Okay, and then grab this down here. All right. So my goodness, maybe do. All right, let's just copy this. Copy that. Come here and come back to Chrome, pet adoption, grab this, inspect, and let's inspect this here, and nav bar. So the nav, let's add this in the nav bar. And look, it looks so much nicer. It looks so much nicer. And of course, we can make these different colors, So I'm just gonna, I just need to change these colors a little bit because they're way too dark, I think what happened to my eyes? It's like I can't. There we go. Okay, that looks a little, but I think I'm gonna move these a little bit, so make them like this. Move, move them like that. Opacity there, something like this. Okay, and then maybe get these a bit lighter, to be a little bit lighter. There we go. There we go. That's what I wanted. Command A, copy it, and in here I'm gonna do a nav. I'm gonna type in nav. That's just we're targeting the entire element, the entire element of the HTML element. Save it. So come back to adoption, refresh it, and it should look a lot prettier. It should look a lot prettier, you see? So anyways, I just wanted to show you guys this, and of course we can change all that. But okay, guys, I'll see you guys in the next part. And look, we have done quite a lot today. We did a lot. Okay, so I'll see you guys in part 16. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe and support my channel. I'm definitely going to be continuing on working on this, and I'm really glad that we have come so far, and we're going to continue going further. I hope you enjoyed it. See you guys in the next part 16.